What's up, guys? We are at the beginning of September. We're at the beginning of September, and so we're going to talk about who made Thomas's top 5 for August.
Yeah.
They yell all the time. I don't give a fuck. August. Another month come and gone. We have to see who impressed Thomas Wolfe enough to make his top 5. No specific order. No
specific criteria.
Yeah, it's just whoever he fucking likes. And if there's extra ones, it's because it's his fucking list.
Yeah.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
His top 5 could technically have 7.
Yeah.
This one might, because I think I know it has at least 6. Spoiler alert. Oh shit. Alright, well we better get started now. Thomas Wolfe, who made your top 5?
Alright, I'm going to start with, I would say the reason I'm starting with this is because there's kind of controversy surrounding him, but I still think he did enough to warrant a spot, except for that fucking end of his match that would have put him higher, and I'm going with The Undertaker.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck SummerSlam.
Yeah,
That match specific.
that ending was bullshit. But at 50 years old, The Undertaker put on one hell of a show, and Brock Lesnar was there.
He played the role of Kane.
Yeah,
He was there.
He was there.
Taker got 3 of his ribs broken and didn't show it during the match at all.
Yeah, that's the most impressive
Yeah.
part to me, is that he legitimately broke his ribs and wrestled the whole match like he was just selling.
Right,
like,
it just looked like he was old and getting kind of tired.
Yeah, like
which I didn't hold against him.
No,
He's old. Probably was.
he probably was really tired.
Right.
He probably just wanted to be with Michelle McCool. Like, who wouldn't want to be with Michelle McCool?
Yeah.
Lucky Undertaker.
I do want to say fuck you, Brock Lesnar, for breaking Taker's ribs. That's the second match you've had with The Undertaker where you've injured him severely.
He's just gonna kill Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This one I don't hold against him.
I wouldn't hold against him if he didn't have a habit of hurting people.
Yeah. I mean, normally I am the first person to jump on the fuck Brock Lesnar bandwagon, but I'm not going to hold that one specifically against him because it was an accident. The table was involved. Had it been he just dropped him on the outside or just did something to him in the ring unsafely, yeah, okay. Just, Undertaker doesn't have the oomph he used to have and didn't break the table quite as clean as he would have maybe 10 years ago.
I get that and I understand that. But the thing is, if it wasn't for, concussing Taker last time, for breaking Jamie Noble's ribs, for all the injuries he's given people over the years.
Breaking Hart Crawley's neck.
Right, like...
Almost killing Albert.
All of that is why I still hold this against him, because it's just more of the same.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that, but I also do agree with your reasoning saying that, obviously this was a spot that Undertaker called also. So it's not like Undertaker didn't know what was going to happen. Yeah. But you're right with the fact that Brock Lesnar does have a history of being reckless.
But the main reason Undertaker is on this list isn't that match. It's for the weeks of build-up and the fun we had with the ding-ding kicks.
Yeah.
They kicked him in the ding-ding.
Yeah. Nothing gets better than when the Undertaker hits Brock Lesnar in the balls.
Yeah. I mean, can we say, looking at the timeline of this, Undertaker shows up at Battleground, kicks Brock in the ding-ding.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw, they have an epic brawl that takes the entire roster to break up. Next time Undertaker shows up, he kicks him in the ding-ding again. And then during their match at SummerSlam, he hits him in the ding-ding.
Yeah. And every step of the way, we just had so much fun.
We did.
So for providing us for months of fun.
Ding-ding.
Undertaker, you earned yourself a spot on my top 5.
Awesome.
Next up,
that might be my favorite rationale ever.
Next up, I'm going with Kevin Owens. Who
Mr. K.
powerbombed his way into this spot 3 nights in a row.
4.
4.5 nights in a row.
4.5.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a hell of a work schedule for Kevin Owens.
4 days
SummerSlam weekend.
Right.
Because on Saturday, the ladder match with Finn Balor. Sunday, match with Cesaro. Monday he worked, what was it, 8-man tag on
Yeah,
Raw.
8-man tag.
And then he worked on SmackDown, which was filmed on Tuesday. So that's Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday. In a row.
Yeah.
My tattoo itches.
And the fact that his first match was a ladder match, and he still had 3 really good matches after that.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't show any wear and tear. I mean, you could see bruises from the ladder.
Well, yeah,
but
but
as far as his
bruised bodies.
As far as his work ethic, like, he just kept up that persona, and he kicked ass for 4 days straight.
Yeah,
So,
I was surprised during his match with Cesaro. You couldn't tell he had a kick-ass ladder match
Yeah.
the night before.
No.
And then on Raw, it didn't seem like he had just wrestled 2 badass matches.
No, if anything, Orton was the one who wasn't wrestling in that match.
yeah. And then you and I were talking about it when we were watching SmackDown. I was like, holy shit, this is his 4th day in a row of working badass matches, and he's still just going as fast and as hard as he usually does
Yep.
in that ring, and he's still kicking ass. So
One thing I want to mention about, and this is what something Cesaro did in their match that I thought was really neat that I forgot to mention when we were reviewing the match. One of the very first moves Cesaro hits is a double stomp, and he instantly goes for the pin. And I thought that was a really nice nod to the fact that Finn Balor uses the double stomp as a finisher
yeah.
and beat Owens with it the night before.
Yeah, I was like, well, it worked for Finn, let me give it a
Yeah.
shot.
But
I'm
yeah,
a little bigger than him.
for working such an impressive schedule and not showing any signs of fatigue, and winning some of those matches,
He had a 50-50 record
Yeah.
that week.
that's still an F, but, good job.
Hey,
He got an A for effort.
you broke even. Good job. Skin of the boot.
Next, I like to put debuts and returns on here. So, next up, I'm going to say probably one of the most surprising re-debuts,
Re-debut.
Renabits.
and one of the most impressive
Rid of it.
matches of the month goes to Jushin Thunder Liger.
That is.
Hey.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
It's his WWE debut.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
it was not a half-bad match.
I enjoyed the way him and Breeze played off of each other.
Yeah.
You know, the match itself was great, but I love watching the wrestlers interact with each other. And when you've got someone like Jushin Liger, who, we talked about it during our NXT review, he doesn't need to have great matches. He can go out there and have fun, and that's, like, the best part.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was able to just completely fuck with Tyler Breeze for the first, 5 minutes of the match was just, I would have been fine with just that. It
Yeah.
could have ended after that, and I would have been like, that's kind of what I expected. But then he goes out and still continues to kick ass in that ring, even after wrestling for 30 fucking years. So, yeah.
Next up, I'm going to another debut.
This is the one I know. I think. Unless you swerved it on me.
This is a debut.
Oh shit.
It's not a return.
I don't know
First
what it is.
ever time in a wrestling ring, Stephen Amell.
Ah, yeah.
Not bad for a first-time guy.
Right, like, the fact that he's not a wrestler, and this was his first time in a ring, well, maybe not first time in a ring.
No,
Definitely
he was
not,
in the ring with the start when he tackled.
Point is,
His
First time in a match.
first time in
Fucking
a match.
impressive.
Yeah.
A lot of flips.
He
and
did
springs and
way
jumps.
more than I expected.
Yeah.
And I was already excited for the match. Like, this was one of the matches I was most excited for
You're
for
an
SummerSlam.
arrow mark.
I am absolutely an arrow mark. And so when he gets involved,
Also, Stephen Amell is the only person on this list who I've met.
yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
jealous about that.
So, good job meeting me that one time when I met you.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, the fact that he went above and beyond what I expected of him made this match even better for me.
Yeah. Alright. So now it's the big one. Number
All right,
one.
I know this one.
I'm not going to say anticipated return. Definitely a surprising return, though. No, it was pretty anticipated because we got the teaser before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had him and I actually talked about it. We had a couple teasers.
Yeah, so making the biggest return to WWE, Jon Stewart. Just kidding. The Dudley Boyz.
Yeah! I thought you were... First time I was like, "Did you fucking swerve it on me again?"
He did that just so you would think that.
I know.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
I don't put those things past Thomas Wolfe.
But no, the Dudley Boyz, they're back. And that is the biggest return in recent history.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
I'm more excited about that than when Brock Lesnar first returned. I'm more excited about that than... I can't recall any other major returns in the last one. Batista returned. I mean, Undertaker returns every year.
Yeah.
But I'm, and I'm always excited for Undertaker.
I'm honestly more into the Dudley Boyz being back than I was for Sting debuting. Because the Dudley Boyz are going to be around. Like, they're going to be wrestling. We've seen it. They're going to be wrestling on Raw, on SmackDown. They're not like one big match a year, big match here.
Yeah.
And it just means a lot more, I think.
And the fact that, since they've been back, they've already had 2 killer matches with the Ascension and the New Day.
The New Day, they should be on my list.
The nudie
gives you a reason to put them on next one. Because they're going to do good shit in September.
And on my list is Billy Jack Hayden.
All right.
Oh, God.
I was thinking of knocking someone off for the New Day, but nah. Preview for next month, probably the New Day.
Probably the New Day. Yeah, I mean...
Mine's Big E for the booty sign.
the Dudley Boyz are my favorite tag team.
The Dudley Boyz are the best tag team.
They're the most decorated tag team in WWE history.
That's why I say best.
And if you count like every promotion they've won championships in, they've been like 30-sometime tag team champions.
I think it's 20.
I don't know if it's... They're potentially they're at least one of the top most decorated tag teams. Period. End of sentence. That's it.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, they've been champions at every promotion they've ever worked at.
Yep.
And they're still kicking ass. I mean, their match with the Ascension was a little slow. But we
that's
talked about
the Ascension. Fuck them.
Well, and we also talked about them just trying to get acclimated to the WWE style again.
Yeah.
But then their match with New Day on Raw was just awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can work with guys that they've never worked with before, that easily, and with the fact that the tag team division is actually doing something right now, and there's a lot of formidable tag teams. Plus, we got the Usos coming back pretty soon.
Yeah.
Something I didn't think about until just now because you said all the formidable tag teams out there, and I made the joke about them during the midweek wrap up. We're talking about the Ascension getting pinned by El Torito. Bubba, you have to put the bull through a table.
Yes.
You know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be Bubba Ray Dudley if you didn't put a midget in an animal costume through a table.
No,
it's the closest thing you're going to get to Mae Young nowadays.
Yeah, that's...
Right? Right?
That's a lot of degrees of separation from Mae Young. I think you're right.
If that's the closest you're gonna get.
I think you're right. I just don't think that's very close.
Yeah. Figure out if either of you can figure out a way to get closer.
6 degrees of Mae Young.
She gave birth to a hand.
Torito has a hand.
Oh shit, that's 1 degree.
Torito is a bull with hands.
That is 1 degree.
Boom! Got it! Put that bull through a table.
I mean, by that logic, you could 1 degree her away from anyone.
But the fact that this is a bull with hands.
I know, I'm just saying.
That's a whole different situation.
It is.
Everybody's great is if he put Bull Dempsey on the table first, and then he put the bull through a table.
Bullception.
But yeah, that's the top 5.
That's a weird way to end.
It was short, but good. And I like all those guys.
Good choices.
I would hope you do.
I fucking hate all these people, but they did a really good job.
I bet that's gonna happen one time.
I'm sure. It's gotta happen.
Like, god damn you made it.
It's gonna be Brock Lesnar, Titus O'Neil, Sheamus.
This is gonna be the
Mojo
top 5
Mojo Rawley
wrestlers.
And
Mojo Rawley for teaming with Zack Ryder
and Vince Russo.
I'm going to ask you this because I don't think this has ever come up on one of these videos yet.
I'm intrigued.
Who, for the month of August, is your bottom guy?
Oh!
Like if
We're
there
gonna
is
start making that a thing, I think.
the bottom of the barrel, who's the bottom of the barrel?
We got the top 5 and the last 5.
Yeah. No, just the one.
The bottom of the barrel.
The one bottom guy. I would have
The
to
curdled
say.
milk of professional wrestling.
gross.
I would have to say that honor goes to Eva Marie
Thank
for
you.
this inaugural one because I didn't have anything better prepared.
Eva Marie, you were the skid mark on August. Technically, yeah. Because you're not that great.
Suck it, Tony.